Hello and welcome back to Markham Customs. Today we are going to talk about making molds. Um, these are the molds right here. Um, they have the piece that we're going to make already inside. These two straws are for creating voids inside the mold for the vacuum to get down in there, and that's something we can cover a little bit later. But for today, what we're going to do is we're going to make these molds. I got 4 of them here. Um, these two are the same, and these two are the same. So I put purple straws in the 2 that are the same, and green straws in the 2 that are the same, because once it's in the plaster, we have no idea what the ring is in the middle, and these straws will help us identify later in case we kind of lose track of what's what. So you should follow the recommendations or the ingredients or the recipe that comes with the plaster that you're going to be using. I've pre-measured out 280 grams of water. Most plasters will tell you how much water to use in terms of milliliters or cups. I would suggest that you go ahead and go on Google and convert it to weight, because this is so much more accurate than trying to use a measuring cup from your kitchen or something like that. So I recommend you weigh your water as opposed to a measuring cup or a graduated cylinder. And then I have also pre-mixed or pre-weighed out 700 grams of plaster. So I've got 140 in this cup and another 160 in this cup. And so what we'll do, since it's going to be a little noisy with the hand mixer for a minute, I'll explain. What we're going to do is we're going to dump this plaster into here, and then we're going to mix it with the hand mixer for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. During that process, this mixer is going to stir a whole bunch of air into the plaster mixture. We need to get that out because air in your molds is no good. So once we've mixed the plaster for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and again, you'll need to check with the plaster that you're using. The plaster that I'm using will set up after about 8 minutes. It starts to stiffen. So how much time you mix and all this is very critical, because you do not want your plaster to go hard on you before you get it in the mold. So plaster I'm using is good for about 8 minutes. I've seen some that go up to 11 minutes. I've never seen one actually any higher than 11 minutes. So it's certainly a critical issue. So we're going to mix for 3.5 minutes. Then we're going to vacuum this bowl inside this machine to remove the air for 1 minute. Then we're going to pour our plaster into our molds, and then we're going to take the molds themselves and put them underneath here and then vacuum them for 2 minutes, and then we're done. So let's see how it goes. just hit 3 minutes. We're at 3:10 now. So I've turned my mixer down to low so I can raise it up out of the plaster, and it'll just kind of spray on the side of the bowl, and then we can turn it off, right? It's not much different than cooking with grandma and making cookies and stuff. So then we'll go ahead and we're going to put this in this machine. So this is going to pull a vacuum on our plaster mixture, and it's actually going to start to kind of boil, if you will. I'm going to see if I can get you a good shot. Starting to see some popping going on inside there. And what that is the bubbles that have been mixed into the plaster coming to the surface as this machine removes all the air from inside that belt. We've got about 30 seconds to go. We're at 4 minutes and 47 seconds. I'm going to release the vacuum, turn the machine off. It's going to take a couple seconds for the atmosphere to repopulate in there. I'll take the lid off. So one important thing that I forgot to mention before is the type of water. You want to be using distilled water. This typically could be found in any drugstore or grocery store in the infant aisle as baby water. It's often offered in a couple different varieties. You want the straight distilled water. You do not want the ones with added fluoride or vitamins or minerals. There we go. Pretty much perfect. I do have a little bit left. That's just going to get thrown away, but better to have a little too much than not enough. We'll put it back under the machine. We're at 6 minutes exactly. We're going to vacuum this for 2 minutes. There we go. You can see that thing bubbling and how it's risen up, kind of like a marshmallow. Give it a few more smacks. So when this bell is vacuumed on here, it wants to stay on there. Like I'm pulling on the top of it right now, and it's not coming off at all. So we're at about 7 minutes and 50 seconds right now. 55. All right. Release the vacuum. Turn the machine off, and that's it. The molds are going to be ready. So when we take this bell off, look at that. The plaster on the top is smooth as glass. Right? You can see the splatter marks around the mold. Right? This is tape that goes around the top of the mold for this very splatter, for the reason of this splattering. Right? Like, it keeps the splatter from getting all over the machine and making more of a mess than it already does, as you can see by the inside of this bell. And that's it. Thanks for watching.